Are we back? I think we are. Welcome back, everybody. Hello, 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 and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real energy in reality, and we can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. I am drinking also a little bit of fancy smancy water. It's just water though, because I am not the smancy smancy kind of girl, even though I feel very, luxurious today.
Hair down, all that stuff. I know the
uh,
feeling. I
yeah,
know
I
the
know.
feeling.
I know, right? It's hair flips. But I also have my cup mug. That's fancy and smancy.
Same, even though my ring light refuses to get it in focus.
It's okay. It's a panel. Well, look at mugs, the panel. Well, look at mugs, boo. Ow. And you can get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch at lanaviewcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So there are no excuses. Get your cup merch. Period.
And I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay. Gay, I am drinking on the same water and the same smoothie as I was in episode 1. Wow, I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't like you giving up the illusions because what the heck did I
You
take my hair
said
down?
at the end of episode 1 that we were going to.
We were coming right back. We were coming right back, is what I said.
Well,
There we go.
okay, regardless, it's a smoothie and it's very delicious. And Lana, it's fine.
It is fine.
I'm very excited.
Mhm.
I just couldn't hold on to that cliff that we were hanging off of for
No,
very much longer.
absolutely not.
I needed to talk about our first eliminated person on $1 Million Secret.
Oh, absolutely. Because basically, I am not here to hold on the cliffs long at all. That's not my zhuzh. That's not how I
No.
do things. I want to get
I
right into
appreciated though that
hmm
this was the only cliffhanger we got
in this
in
drop.
these 3 episodes. Thank you,
Yes,
Netflix. I expected much more cliffhanging.
I did too. I did too. I was like,
Because
oh
I came
no.
into this and I was like, oh God, it's a Netflix series. We're going to, and probably in the next set of episodes we're going to get like a mid activity cliffhanger or some other BS.
Who
But,
knows,
I
honestly.
appreciated all that. So,
But before we get into all of that, y'all know what to do. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscribe button right down there. It takes a half a second and it's free. We are here on a mission trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we need all of you to participate and help us out across this channel and across all of our channels. We are a part of a network. And so we have 3 other channels that are also trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So help us out. Subscribe to this channel. Go click the links in our link tree to all the other channels and subscribe to those channels as well. Help us out so we can unlock a lot of fun things that we want to do on all of the channels. And we can only do that if we have 1,000 subscribers. So thank you. Help us out. Period. Love you. Mean it. Mwah.
um, so we were hanging on the cliff, Lana.
Wait, we're not done, Logan, because we have audio
Oh,
podcast links, Patreon links. All those are in the description below. So we
I
need you all
forgot
to
about all the links.
subscribe to all of those things, follow us on all those things. And then, yeah, now we were hanging on the cliff.
We were hanging on a cliff, Lana.
We were.
We were hanging on the cliff.
And the votes were coming. And we were honestly, this cliff didn't need to be, we didn't really need to hang on this cliff.
No, we knew who was going because
We
Lauren
kind of
had 3
knew.
votes.
Lauren had 3 votes, and she put them all on Harry, and Harry was out.
You know, am I sad to see Harry go? Yes.
I'm not. He gave me nothing.
Yes, because he seemed like a lovely person. Um, am I happy for him to go simply because I just don't think he fit in this cast? Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like that drawn to Harry. Sure, he's a nice guy. Sure, he seems very genuine. I just wasn't that drawn to him. So I was like,
Yeah, me either.
he can stay, he could go.
It
Either
just sucks. Like, oh, we're sending the old guy home first again. You know what I mean?
right, right. I don't know
Like,
why
oh,
Harry's gone. I don't know why that was, but yeah, Harry's out. Harry's out. And just in
bye,
case,
Harry.
bye, Harry. And just in case you happen to just stumble upon this episode and you didn't see our first episode, you should go check that out. Number one. But Lauren is our millionaire. Just so to catch you up on things, Lauren is the millionaire.
In case you missed it.
In case you missed it. But Harry's out. And we didn't even get we didn't even get the vote count on this one. I feel like it was probably unanimous. I think everybody
You
said vote count.
think?
I think it was probably unanimous. Maybe one
I
person
didn't
voted
even
somebody
think
else.
about that. But, like, I mean, if they didn't show us, especially because they did show us the other
And
two votes,
two?
like,
Ooh,
no, Harry, no. No, but you're probably right, Lana. No. No.
that's what I think.
No. But you're probably right.
Because we did not get
Yeah.
a visual for this, and we got visuals for every other vote
Oh.
thus far. So, but Harry's done, he's gone, and everybody was like, "It's the hand thing." But when they do they have Harry reveal and open his box to see if the $1 million is in the box. So they will know if they catch a millionaire after every vote. So Harry opens his box, and he's just like, "You've been played. That's what you get." Da 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 da. And I was like, Harry, calm down. Everybody had nothing to go
You
on.
need to calm down.
You need
That's
to
more
calm down.
applicable this episode.
Absolutely. I was like, relax, Harry. Like, seriously, what did you expect? All this little evidence, and nobody has nothing to grasp onto but what people are giving, and that's the only thing
Right.
that's coming up right now. Yes, you. It was gonna be you.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, let's play it and just watch your backs." And he walks out, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, bye, Harry."
Yeah. Bye, Harry.
Well,
And then we basically just go to the next day
yeah, yeah,
where Lauren is feeling the guilt.
yes.
And
Oh,
that
it's
comes
just,
up later.
oh my God, Lauren's like, "This lying is so bad. I don't like it. It's eating me up inside. I don't know what to do."
But we got to put a pin in that because knock, knock, knock. Hey, Peter.
Peter's here, and Peter
Um,
says, "Hey, millionaire,
hey.
we got some news for you." Would you like to tell the urgent news that Peter had to give Lauren?
Oh, sure. I didn't know. Sorry. Social cue. Missed it. Yes. So her new secret agenda.
Hmm.
The She gets a choice. And
Yeah,
I like the choices. I like that
yeah.
we're incorporating
Mhm.
choices now. Choices, Tatiana. So the choice she gets, should she be successful in her secret agenda, is that either she can choose 3 votes of other people to not count in the next
Dinner.
elimination dinner,
Hmm.
or she can move the money to somebody else and
Randomly.
hope that later randomly and hope that later on in the game the $1 million comes back to her.
Yep. I
That's
like that.
such a cool addition to this game. I really, really, really like that addition to this game.
I
Here's
like
what
that so much.
here's what I will say, and here's my big question moving forward. If someone doesn't take that option, like say there's a future millionaire who, like, if the option is 3 votes nullified or move the
Move the
money,
money.
is move the money going to be an option the next day as well? Like in the next round of secret agenda, is it going to be an option again, or is this like a once every other situation? Like how frequently is it going to be?
Well, I think it's the latter. because we do
Okay.
see in the next episode that actually comes to fruition.
Right. I'm like,
So,
if you deny it once, I'm just curious to see how frequently it'll pop up.
yes. I wonder if it's an every other day thing, or is it just whenever randomly pops up? And it's like,
Right. That's where I'm
oh,
like, I'm intrigued to see when it pops up.
right. So we'll see. But yeah, Lauren quickly, immediately decides, because she has to decide right then and there what power she's going to take. And she immediately decides to get this money away from me. I feel like the heat is on. Too many people are on me. I take it away, give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll come back to me. And so
I and knowing what we know of Lauren,
I would have done the same thing. Honestly,
there's no universe. Yeah, I think I would have done it too.
it's too early to have this money because there's too many
Yeah.
people. I would definitely not want it. And everybody has the same idea, which is very much right. Like everybody's like, I don't want the money right now. I don't need it right now because it's too many people. It's lying too many times, so much throughout the game. You can forget a lot. Get it away from me. I don't want it right now.
Yeah, I'm like,
Hopefully, I
I'm
can get
good.
it
I
at the
don't need
end.
it.
Hopefully, I
Right.
can get it at the end. So I understand why she did it, and I would have 100% did it.
Yeah.
But what she had to do was she had to casually drop song titles in the conversation without referencing the song or the artist. You just have to casually drop the title into the conversation. And they gave her 5 songs that she had to drop in there. The list was Smooth Criminal,
Yeah.
Don't Stop Believing,
Leave it.
You Need to Calm Down, Cry Me a River, and every rose has its thorn. And so I was like, okay. Some of these I could easily drop into a conversation. Some of these,
There was only one for me that felt very difficult. It's the one that
every
she had the most
rose.
Yeah, every rose has its thorn. Was the most difficult, and it was the one she had the most difficulty with.
Yes.
Again, I have to say, very impressed with Lauren and the way she maneuvered this.
Because she only had till breakfast. Like once breakfast was
Yeah,
over, it was it. That she only had from that moment to breakfast, the end of breakfast, to get it done. And so not a lot of time. And so she was trying to figure out, how am I going to casually drop these songs in said title? Ah, and I think she, like you said, very impressed. I think she did a really, really good job.
she was like, "Don't stop believing, breakfast is ready," and I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah, yeah,
It's here's the thing, it's so mom coded. Like it's
yes.
so mom coded.
It's like dad jokes. She just
Both of hers. Here's the interesting thing too. Both of hers were so mom coded,
hmm
and then the next millionaire, his was very applicable to what was going on to him at the time.
I think they do this on purpose. I think they lined it up.
It's very specific. I like it.
I
I
do.
really like it.
I do.
Whether it's intentional or not, I'd like to think it is. But hers were very like it felt very momish. It felt very Midwestern mom, honestly. And I like that it was just like she could play it off very
hmm
easily. And she did do a very, very good job.
Yeah,
Um, and she got it done.
she got it done. She did draw a little bit of suspicion on her from Kara, because
Yes.
she was sitting there next to Kara and she was talking, and I thought she was gonna drop in Cry Me a River when Say Young was like, "Oh, I was in my room crying all night last night. Oh, this is just so much. I was crying, and it's so much." And I thought she was like, "Girl, me too. I cried a river." I like, I'm like, "Baby, cry me a river," because baby, I was doing the same thing. Like I thought she was gonna
Right.
throw that in there, but she didn't. But she figured it out. Like she succeeded. But when she got up, she was talking to Cara, and they were sitting there, and then all of a sudden she got up and left and went down to the other side of the table. Now
Right.
she did that because she thought Cara, she didn't know what Cara was looking at her sideways, or if
Right.
Cara was on to her. So she wanted to dismiss herself from the situation. But Cara
Yeah.
was like, why would she just get up and leave like that when the
Like
middle of
I get the move, but
hmm, she didn't do it in the most smooth
elegant
way.
way. Yeah,
Right. It was very like
definitely.
abrupt and she just
Yeah,
left.
yeah,
But after she did that, so she succeeded. And so
yeah,
but the monies can't move unless she survives the vote.
yeah. So that is
That
the
is the
other.
other part of the agenda.
I
She could
like that as well.
right. So she has to survive the vote or it's she
I mean,
doesn't
it's either she's in the game and the money moves, or she's not in the game and the money moves.
the money
So,
moves.
like,
Absolutely.
the
So
money's moving regardless. It's just, are you going to be in the game or not? Is
right.
the question. The other thing we get at breakfast that I find poignant for the ongoing conversation that we will have throughout this and the next episode. This is the first time we get Phil vocalizing to Sydney um that he thinks Say Young is a millionaire because of the whole strategy situation that she pulled in the trophy room,
Mhm.
um with the whole, because she got 3 votes,
It's like
because there were
she
three
got 3
people that
people.
said, yeah,
We'll do her
it makes
strategy.
sense.
It
It makes
does.
sense completely. It makes sense completely. um Unlikely duo, but I do like Phil and Sydney together
Yeah.
as a strategic duo.
Yeah. I think she has a side of her that is very like, I'm not here to make friends, don't really care. I'm here to win this money. And Philip is the calmer version of that. Like he will,
Yeah,
he's like the observant, like I'm looking, I'm seeing, but I'm not go overreact. Like I think Sydney could get a little bit emotional and go off the handle if she needs to, but I think Philip will be there to calm her down, which it's a good duo. You need that.
definitely. That also then spreads into adding Chris and Corey to that. Like, it's not necessarily an alliance at this point.
Right.
It kind of sort of spreads a little bit into that
Yeah.
moving forward, but they're all kind of now working on this Say Young theory.
Right.
So,
So then we go to the mission.
yes,
Mission 2, which is play shooting. Now, me personally, I'd be
sure.
like, no, thank you. I don't want to do this because I don't do guns. I don't do guns that way. But look, and I'm with Philip. The last time I had a gun in my hand, it was for Nintendo playing Duck Hunt, and I wasn't that good at that game
That
either.
was, I was like, I love that reference
Me
so
too,
much.
because I had that game. I
Yeah,
had that game. I was in my living room like pew pew pew, and the dog like I had that game. So I was like, yeah, that's the last time I had a gun in my hand too, Philip. It was definitely duck hunt, and I was not that great at that. But
yeah,
the teams ended up being Chris and Layla were chosen to be the captains.
yeah.
Lydia, who is Layla? Who
Lydia.
is
I
Layla?
was gonna say, who?
Who is Layla? Lydia
Layla
and
from
Chris.
Amazing Race, season
Oh,
34?
no,
And Challenge USA? Rip
let
Challenge USA.
Rip Challenge USA. Layla from WWE. Too many Laylas in my
Oh,
life.
that's more applicable to you.
Yeah, I know. But I
Yeah.
mean, all of those references that we just said are applicable
I
to
mean,
me.
all of them are applicable to you, yes.
I watched them all. But yeah,
Correct, yes.
so Lydia and Chris are chosen to be the captains. And
Can
so
I
they,
say,
yes,
also, sorry, I love that um the people are chosen out of the bag by their symbol for their
yes.
room.
Well, their room
I love
symbols. Love that.
like, it's one of those just detail. Oh my god! And
Yeah.
can I? Because those details, it's those little things that I'm just loving
Hmm.
about this show, and also the intercom messages, Lana. It's the intercom messages with the harpsichord, and then on screen with the subtitles where it says harp glissando. I don't know why, but it makes me so happy. Like, every time Peter comes on the intercom and there's a harp glissando, like, it just makes me so happy, and I can't really explain it.
You
but
love what
every
you
time
love.
I do. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about it that just makes my spirit happy. I really can't explain it other than it just makes my spirit happy.
I mean, I just love we get to see the intercom. He pushes the button and he's leaning
I
against the
know.
microphone. It's just like, okay,
Hello,
work.
residents. I
I love
love
it.
it
Love
every
it.
time. It's the little things about this show that are going to make it very memorable in my brain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So they do have a schoolyard pick. And so Chris ends up getting Jamie, Sydney, Lauren, and Sam,
And Kyle.
and Kyle. Well, no,
Yeah.
not right now. Yeah. And then Lydia gets Corey, Phil, Cara, and Seyoung.
Seyang, yeah.
Seyoung. What did I say?
And
Seyoung.
she picks Seyang first, and Seyang
And
goes, "You
oh my god,
sure?"
girl. You sure, girl? I was
I
like,
love Seyang. Oh, I love Seyang so much.
I was like, oh my god, girl. Wait, I am
You
horrible.
sure?
Not me. You sure you want me?
You
Yeah.
sure?
You sure?
Um, Amongst the moments here, of course, Kyle shoots Skeet back home, and of course, he
He
missed.
misses.
And then,
Mm-hmm,
of course, Sam's a cop, and of
mm-hmm.
course, she
She
missed.
misses.
Um, and then,
Mhm.
oh, Kara's story. Oh, Kara's story just absolutely. Oh, it touched me.
Like she was crying from the moment they said what this mission was. She was like, I don't like guns. I don't like guns.
Yeah,
And then we find out why she does not like guns. She lost her
yeah,
brother at the age of 14 to gun
yeah.
violence. And from that point on, she's like, it devastated my family. And so from that point on, she just didn't like guns. And I was like, that's so relatable. That is so relatable. Like I lost a nephew, or not a nephew, a cousin
Yeah,
to gun violence, recklessly gun violence. I've lost
yeah,
other family members unnecessarily. I've lost friends to
yeah,
unnecessarily gun violence. So there, I don't care for guns. I don't like guns. I don't want to be around guns. But
yeah.
and not to say I don't. I understand people who does have guns or who appreciates and likes guns. Fine. That me personally don't like it. And so I was so relatable. That story was so relatable to me, and I was like, "Oh, Kara." But then she get up there and she shoots it and makes it. And I was like,
Not only to get through it, but
oh,
to get the target. Like girl,
girl, girl,
like, and
yes.
the fact that she's like, the thing that I like the most about Kara is like she is, from the edit at least, the most relatable person here for me at least.
Hmm.
Like we got a lot of her backstory, which I really appreciate. A lot of people are not really revealing a whole lot about their backstory, which I understand. It's a game about deception, so I understand it. And we've gotten a lot of her backstory, which I do appreciate. But also, like, she just works it in and out. Like she's just like
Right.
a regular person. Where a lot of these people are like, Sam's a cop. Lauren's a mom. Sure, that's relatable. But like, Lydia's a
Lydia's a
poker
poker
player.
player.
We don't actually know what a lot of these people do at this
Philip's
point.
a professor.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the next episode we find out Philip's a professor and a therapist. So
Yeah,
like, some of these people could be, we don't know what Sydney does, but it's not bottle service. So
it's not that.
who knows what? But I just love. There's something I love that for lack. This is gonna sound more negative than I need it to be. But Kara is just kind of an
Regular person.
everyday person, a
She's a
regular,
regular
degular
person.
person. And I really like
I
that
love
about
that.
her. And I hope she does well. I want
Yes.
her to do well.
I want her to do well. If she doesn't win the million, I hope she goes home with something. Like I hope there's a temptation or something that they give people, and she walks away with some money. Because I want my in and out girl to be able to be like, okay, now I got a cushion, so I'm not dependent on flipping these burgers all the time.
Right. Like that's unless she loves her job at In and Out, and if that's the
And that's
case,
fine. That is
work. Yeah,
perfectly fine because that is work and that is legit work. And you could love flipping burgers at In and Out. You can love any job and make a
I know a
career
lot of
out of
people that
that.
do.
And they work their way through and become managers and franchise owners. That is perfectly a great job to have if that's what you want to do. But I want her to have that money and that cushion for her and
Yeah.
her family because she is
At
actually
this
out here working
point,
hard. Yeah.
she might be just based on what we know of these people, she might be the person I want to win the most.
Okay. That's fair. That is
Like,
very fair.
I think a lot of it probably is just because she's the person I think we know the most about.
Right.
But
Right.
like,
And you
but
know what else I like the most about Cara in this situation? She was crying and she was, obviously very traumatized by this experience, but she wasn't like, like she wasn't over exaggerated. She wasn't
yeah,
like falling
she
out,
had her
passing out.
moment.
She
She had
she
her
wa-
moment.
she cried. She held it in. She let it out a little bit.
She kept it together for the sake of the competition in
She
front of
kept it
everybody else.
cute. She kept it cute, and I love that. Like you don't
She
have
kept
to
the
be
game
a
face on, and I loved it.
she didn't have to be a sobbing mess. She didn't have to be blubbering and have to make it all about her. Yes, she
Yeah,
was having a moment, but she didn't make it all about her, and that's what I appreciated a lot.
yeah. But
But
the star of the show, Miss Jamie.
Jamie
I'm gonna
ate
say
it.
I'm gonna say my favorite personality right now, my favorite character
Jamie.
right now is Miss Jamie.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Are
mm-hmm.
we surprised that I'm loving the black woman? No,
Are
not
we
at all.
surprised that I'm loving the black woman? No,
No.
no.
But not only does she get one target, but she gets two. I don't remember who got the other one for their group. I didn't write that down.
Who it was?
Chris?
Chris.
It
Chris
was
got it.
Chris. Okay, that's
It
what I
was
thought.
Chris.
That's what I
Oh
thought.
no, it
Okay.
was Sydney.
Was it Sydney?
I think it was Sydney.
I don't remember.
I think it was Sydney. I think it was Sydney, and then Jamie got it twice.
I thought it was a man, but I don't remember.
Kyle didn't get it. Sam didn't get it. Or was it Lauren? Lauren! It was Lauren. Because she was like,
Oh
oh, I
yes,
do
it was
got a little
Lauren
North
because the Midwest
Dakota.
came out. Yep,
She's
that's what
like,
it
I got
was.
my
Yep.
North Dakota in me. Yep, it was
I have
Lauren.
never shot this weapon. I remember. Yep, that's what it was. She had that very specific wording
Yep.
of the North Dakota came out in me because I've never shot this weapon before. And I was like, very specific wording. I see where you stand on this. Cool,
Mm-hmm.
got it. Told me a
Word.
lot about Lauren, and I appreciate that actually a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it was two Jamie and one Lauren that got team Chris, I guess for
Chris.
lack of a better term.
Yep.
The win here. We go back in to the gorgeous, lovely mansion, the Stag. There
The
is a name for it.
stag.
I forgot. The
It's the
Stag.
stag.
Love the
Mm-hmm.
name. Love the
Love
name.
it.
The focus is on the suspects. Obviously, we know there's 5 people left that are still part of this group, being Lauren, Phil, Sam, Seung, and Corey. We get this very intriguing conversation between Sydney and Lauren,
Mm-hmm.
where they're talking about these like occurrences of threes because
Right.
we're hyper fixating now over the 3 extra votes, and
Sydney
they
just
both
Sydney just recalled to Lauren what Phil told to Sydney about
literally,
the strategy in
and
in
she's
the
kind
room.
of insinuating
Yeah.
stay young.
So yeah.
And Lauren is now like, okay, so Seyoung is a name in several people's minds. I don't want to do this because I like Seyoung a lot, but this is where the name is going. I need to protect myself. Seyoung is the route that I need to take in order to protect myself and stay in the game and ultimately get the money transferred so I don't have to be the millionaire anymore.
Right.
So,
And so they're having that conversation. And then we go into I guess the library. Well, we have
yes.
Corey and Phil and Chris and I think Lydia was there. Like there's a
I
bunch of
think
people in
Kara
there.
was there. Like a bunch of people were there. Yeah.
A bunch of people in there. And they're just talking, trying to figure out, where this, what their suspicions are. And Say Young is just going around, picking up everything, looking at everything, looking under everything. And Clark is like, Sam, what are you doing? "Oh, I'm just looking." And I was like,
I'm curious if
hello?
I'm curious if she's a Big Brother or Survivor fan and was like looking for
She gotta
advantages.
be. She gotta be.
Like
Because
I'm
I'm like,
curious I'm curious her like reality TV knowledge now.
but
Um
I'm curious of her reality TV knowledge, and I'm curious of her just regular smarts. Because what are you doing? You gonna go
right.
looking for stuff in a room full of people while they're talking?
Yeah. I was like, "Oh girl, what are we doing here, girly?"
Like in a game where people are looking for reasons to vote for you, why are you giving them reasons? Like you just
Yeah.
looking under. Oh, I wrote down. I literally
Girly
like
girly pop, what are we doing here?
I literally wrote down like rookie mistake. Like don't give people reasons to look at you.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing? You do
Yeah.
that by yourself when ain't nobody in there. You just like okay.
And then Corey with this blunt ass statement, I lived, where he's just like, yeah, don't let anyone dictate your decision in the trophy room. And I was like,
And then he turns around and looked right at Say Young. It was like, because like, it's like, I, Corey,
live,
live, live for Corey, live in this moment.
live. Like,
What? Girl.
okay.
So then we see Sam. She started to plant seeds. That is Lauren. Again, she's still stuck on Lauren. She's stuck there. She's
She's
not going
like,
away.
Lauren can't get the clue.
She can't
Lauren should
get the
never
clue.
get it.
No. And I'm not going to do it. But Chris is like, she has not. This is what pissed me off. And so Chris pissed me off, right? He was like, I mean, I can see that because Lauren hasn't made any big moves in this game. But who? And I'm like, but who has, Chris? Who's made big moves thus far on day two?
Okay, but here's the other thing I would like to counter that with. She made herself incredibly vulnerable by being the person to announce all of the names from the trophy room. Like, that is putting yourself in a vulnerable position. Like, no one wants to be the person saying all of the names. No one volunteered for that, and she did accept it. Though that is not a big move in the grand scheme of a lot of things, it is a big move for the scope of the game we currently have. So,
But
like, but
who's
no
made
one's
a big
making big
move?
moves. Like, he's playing like this is 4D chess already, and though we'll probably get there, we're still playing shoots and ladders at this point.
Candyland, my guy. Like, for real, dude, what are we talking about? Like, Uno reverse, like calm it down, bring it back, start over.
Yeah.
Because nobody's made a big move in this game yet. It's not been a move that could be made that is big. And I'm like, and what have you done, Chris? What have you done?
Picked the got randomly chosen today and picked the winning team for the clay pigeon shooting that then ultimately led to him getting unanimously chosen in the trophy room. Like, was that the reasoning? Or was it just that Sam said, I think Chris should get it, and no one wanted to rock the boat? And so everyone said, okay,
Okay, absolutely, that's what it was.
okay, well, that happens.
It's ridiculous. So Chris gets the clue, and everybody has to leave. So I wrote down the actual clue, and the clue said the millionaire was doing their agenda during breakfast, and it was a smash hit. And I was like, seriously, with this clue?
It, and you would think, Lana, that this was a dead giveaway. And
If
I
anybody,
literally, here's the thing, I literally wrote down suggestions of music when we go back into breakfast or go back into the room, but also breaking things and smashing avocado. What?
what? What? What? Did anybody break anything at breakfast? No.
Did anybody have avocado? I think so.
Yes, yes. Jamie literally was like, I had avocado and I smashed it, but
Baby.
baby, when I tell, okay. So I'm like, oh my God. So they go back in and Chris tells them the clue verbatim what it was. They're sitting around the breakfast table having lunch and they're sitting there talking about what the clue is. So he comes in and tells them the clue and everybody starts trying to figure out what this means. Smash hits could be music, could be something else. It don't have to be music. And so Chris says, I got an idea. What if we all sit where we were, because it had to happen during the conversations. What if we sit where we were sitting during breakfast so we can try to recall the conversations that were had? Sure, good idea. This is where all hell
Logical.
broke loose. It's logical, but this is
All
all hell broke loose
all
in this
hell
one
broke loose.
because once they still, everybody's like, oh, okay, I was sitting there and I was sitting there, and Seyoung was like, was I sitting there? No, I wasn't sitting. I don't. Where was I sitting? I don't remember where I was sitting. And Phil is like, "Come on, Young. Like enough is enough. What do you mean you don't remember where you were sitting during break? You remember every dang thing in this house, and you can't remember where you were sitting at breakfast this morning." And she's like, "But just."
Okay. Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. As someone that likes to think that they have a good memory, my memory is very good for complex things. Like I do good when it comes to like patterns and, you know, memorizing like dates and things and like those complex things. Baby, if you tell me to tell you what I had for breakfast today, I couldn't tell you. Like I genuinely I understood where Seyoung was at. I really did. Like it's one of those things where I got it because I'm not trying to come at it from any way. I'll say that too. I understand Phil's frustration 100% because it should seem like one of those very obvious things. You should remember where you sat this morning at a breakfast table. 100%. I see it. I get it. I understand his frustration for sure. But I absolutely see Seyoung's situation where sometimes, and I don't know, I don't know a lot about Seyoung, but seeing a bit of myself in her, when you're overstimulated, you have so much going on in your brain that sometimes the smaller, more minute details, like where you were sitting, doesn't always compute in your brain. It doesn't always stay in your brain when you've got so much else going on around you that's stimulating you and you're trying to take in all of the factors going around you. You sometimes don't remember where you are physically, and you're instead like viewing yourself spatially, and the physicality of where you are doesn't always stay permanent, if that makes sense.
I mean, sure, it probably does. I mean, I am more on the Philip side because my brain works like that. I understand it.
Totally.
I get it. But I understand that not everybody's brain works like my brain, and not everybody's brain works like, the
Yeah.
same. So I get it. Maybe you just was like, oh, I just picked a seat, didn't think about it. I'm gonna go through,
Yeah.
I know exactly where I'm sitting. If I walk into a
Yeah.
room and I sit at like every week, I know where I'm going to sit when I go to church. Every time I go into my dining room, I know
Totally.
where I'm
Yeah.
going to sit. And so it's like, yes, I know where I sat for breakfast. It sat right there in that chair across the way.
Yeah.
But everybody's brain don't work the same, so I get it
Exactly.
and I understand it.
And
But
it's
I was more on the side of Philip, like, come on, girl.
and it's interesting in that case,
Hmm.
knowing now that Philip is a professor and a therapist, I'm going to make the logical deduction that he has degrees in psychology.
Maybe, probably.
Like therapy, like that's where my brain would logically go.
Hmm.
I would think that he would understand a situation like that more than a lot of other people in this game. Like, that's just where my logical deduction goes.
I
Clearly,
mean,
that wasn't the case,
I
but
mean, I
like,
think,
it's
I
just an
think,
interesting occurrence. That's just where
no, I
my
think a lot of it had to base down on that he already suspects Sayon. He already
totally, I agree.
suspects her. So since he already suspects her, he's like not thinking in his therapist brain. He's thinking
Totally.
like, girl, you remember everything and every aspect of this house. I'm sure you know exactly where you were sitting this morning. Like it's literally just the afternoon, a few hours away, like from that moment. You know where you
Yeah,
were sitting. So I don't think he
totally.
was thinking therapist brain. I think he was thinking game brain. And it's like it's not making
Absolutely.
sense. It's not adding up right now. And
The
every
math
little
ain't
thing, the
mathing.
math ain't
I'm
mathing to him.
in. Yeah, because he's probably put all of that out of his brain because he's not thinking about it because
Hmm.
he's not acting in that mode because he's not
Hmm.
telling anybody that he is.
Right.
So, like, I totally get it. It was a very interesting interaction looking back at it, knowing now what we know about Phil. It's just
Hmm.
one of those interesting situations. But I really felt for Young as well because I know, like, overstimulation. I'm gonna assume that may have been part of it. Like the overstimulation of all of
The
it, getting
frustration of
emotional.
it all.
And I really appreciated that she was like in the middle of it being emotional and crying, getting frustrated for not being able to stop crying, and also in the moment acknowledging that this looks suspicious and manipulative. I was like,
Absolutely.
at least if it's happening, I appreciate that you know it looks suspicious and like you can acknowledge that in the moment. Like, thank you. I
Yes.
do appreciate that from her.
I do appreciate that too. I like that she was very self-aware and was like, "Look, I know
So
what this
self
looks like.
aware.
I know what this looks like. It looks like I'm trying to use my weaponize my tears. I get it. It's not the case.
Totally. Yeah.
Like I get, like she got it, and I think she
Yeah.
understood that, and that's why she didn't take it so personally from Philip when he said it, because she like, I get it. It definitely
Yeah.
makes me look weird. It's suspicious, and I'm frustrated that I can't calm down to do it, to not be that way. But in that whole situation, we do see a lot. Some people come out of it like, whoa, Philip just kind of changed his whole demeanor in that moment. Like, we're so used
Yeah.
to Philip being cool and calm and collected, and now he went from 0 to 100 real quick. And I don't understand that. Kyle said that. And he's like,
Kyle certainly did. Yes.
and I was like, okay, Kyle, I get it, but you don't get to police anybody's feelings and how they react to anything. You don't get to do that. But okay, I guess you can if you. He didn't. eh,
I
He
guess if you
didn't
really
say
want to, you
if you
can.
want to, you can, but you shouldn't. But he was kind of like that, and a lot of people were kind of just like, okay, that was weird. But it was nobody really said anything but Kyle about that, so I was kind of interested.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so did we go to dinner, or was there anything
We
else
go to
that
dinner.
happened?
Yeah, it's pretty much like Phil walks out and then we go straight to dinner. And it's a lot of the things you would expect. It's kind of the culmination of the day we've had. Kyle calls out Phil. Phil calls out Say Young because of the emotional lunch in the trophy room. And Sydney kind of jumps on board with that theory and Say Young gets emotional again. And
And she calls out
she
Lauren.
she calls out Lauren then. And in her emotionality, I really appreciated this again because she's like, the main reason I'm getting emotional is because I'm the only one that knows that I'm not the millionaire. And I'm like, yes, girl, I get it. I'm with you. I
Right,
understand.
right.
I get it. Because
Oh,
we know you're not the millionaire
we know
either,
you're
Say Young.
not.
I get it. And I don't want people to go after you because I really like you and you're cool. But yes, then she goes after Lauren. Her kind of counter argument against Lauren is that Lauren doesn't really propose any like strategies. She's very, very social. Um, Kara also kind of jumps on the Lauren train here.
Hmm.
And then
So,
Chris openly says, I came into dinner prepared to vote for Lauren. And I was like, oh,
mhm. Sam gave her little 2 cents about Lauren as well. Everybody
yeah,
gave their 2 cents and their thoughts, and so I was like, oh, this isn't looking good for Lauren at this point. Um,
right.
Even though Lauren was like, I'm shocked, and Philip was like, me too. So I'm like, okay, so Philip's not voting for Lauren, but that doesn't mean anybody else isn't voting for Lauren. It was interesting. I was like, okay, this does not look good for Lauren. She
Yeah.
might get these votes. And
Uh-huh.
I was nervous. I was nervous because I didn't want her to get
Yeah.
the votes. I'm be honest. I did not want
No.
her to get the votes at this point. I was
No.
rooting for Lauren. I'm like, Lauren, I'm rooting for you,
Uh-huh.
girl. So the votes happened.
Uh, there's one other thing that there's a little bit of talk about the song lyric situation, and Jamie's like, there may have been a song lyric
Oh,
blurted out that's coming up in my spirit. I just love the way she said it.
all right. It's just coming up in
I just
my
love the way she said
spirit.
it. Just
It's like
coming
it's
up in
coming
my
up in my,
spirit. I just love
but
the
I
way
don't
she
know
says
who.
that.
But she's
But
like,
I
but
don't
I
know.
don't know who. And then I think Cara was like, yeah, something was no.
But
Sydney
no
was
one
like,
could.
but nobody could remember who said it. They're like, yeah, something was
Well,
brought up, but I was like, well, you can't remember. You can't remember.
well,
But
Julie.
so the votes goes down. And I do like how they do their reveal when they bring him the bag and he pulls out
And
the
he
key.
pulls it out of the back. I live
I
for
love
it.
how he pulls out the key to their box and
Yes.
oh, love it.
And then we bring out the box and they have to open the box. I love
Yes,
the ceremony of it all.
the details.
It's the little things. It's the little
It's the
details
details.
it's the details that are going to make this memorable. Like
Yep, absolutely.
someone and some people put a lot of work and thought into how they were going to make this, and I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it very much because it was good. But we do get the votes
Yep.
and stay young. It's gone.
Oh,
Young is gone. I was like, mm. And the vote
I'm
breakdown was
really sad.
I'm very sad. I didn't want Young to go, but I understood why they voted the way they
It makes
voted.
complete sense given everything that happened. I get it.
Yeah. But the vote breakdown was Young got 5 votes. Lauren
Yes.
got 3 votes.
Yeah.
Phil got 2 votes. And Sam got 1 vote. Now, okay, I need y'all to do me a favor and remember back when we were talking about who was going for who at the table, because
Uh-huh.
now these votes make no sense. Okay.
Why did yeah.
Okay. So Young, let's
Uh-huh.
break it down. Let's break this down. So Young got a vote from Chris, Corey, Phil, Kyle, and Lauren. Now Chris came in and said, I was voting for Young. I mean for
and
Lauren and
and then
didn't.
did
Lauren,
Phil.
I thought Phil was not going to vote for Lauren. I kind of figured he'd vote for Young. That made
Well,
sense.
Phil targeted Say Young. Makes
That made
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
All that makes sense. Lauren makes sense. She needs to save herself. Got it. So
Kyle?
Lawrence, he we really got nothing from him.
But he called out Phil. That's the part where I was like,
Right. Right. I was like, what? Okay. So then we go to Lauren's vote. Young makes sense.
makes sense.
Tara makes sense
Makes
since she
sense.
called out. And then Sydney. What? Okay.
Makes sense.
But she thought it was Young.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. And so then we
At
had
this current moment doesn't make sense.
it didn't make sense. And then we had Phil with 2 votes, Lydia and
Okay.
Sam.
All right. I
But
don't
you've
know.
been talking about Lauren this whole time and you vote for Phil?
Sure, I guess. I don't know.
What? It didn't
I
make
guess
sense to me.
because of the switch up at lunch, like was that enough for you to switch?
But you've been talking about Lauren this whole goddamn time. Two
Right.
episodes.
That's no, I agree with you. But it's just like was the Phil switch up at lunch enough to like that's I'm confused.
And then Jamie votes for Sam, just randomly.
Good on you, Jamie.
Good on you, Jamie. Sure. Sure.
And that's where we leave off.
That's it. That's literally where we leave off.
Yep.
I'm like, wow. Wow. But that's that, y'all. We're gonna go because we have to talk about episode 3 too.
Yep,
And we'll be back to do that very shortly. But
indeed.
y'all know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe to this channel and all of our other channels. All those links are in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, all of our socials at the Cup Pod. You can follow us all over the place. Everywhere socials are, that's where we are. Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that. And you can follow me and Logan if you'd like. And you can get your merch. Weird way to hold it. Merch at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. That link is in the description below. And we're gonna get out of here because this episode, we got to get ready to talk about the next one because boy, is it good.
Please. Oh my God.
So, cheers, y'all. Bye.
Cheers.